Hi, and thanks for logging on to the daily DVAR halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Monday, the 14th day of July. Here we go. So this is our last day before the 3 weeks begin, and I want to give you a mind perspective on what exactly is coming. We're going to begin on Tuesday morning with a fast, and that will kick off, maybe that's a bad word for it, but it's going to begin the 3 sad weeks. So I want to just give you an idea of what it is that we're thinking during these 3 sad weeks. Of course, we're going to be thinking about the destruction of both temples. They were both destroyed on the 9th of Av, which will be 3 weeks away, and these are the 3 sad weeks that lead up to it. Of course, point number 1 is we mourn the tremendous loss of having the very special Beis Hamikdash gone, both of them. That's step 1, and you could see I'm building here. Step 2, when the Beis Hamikdash, both of them, were destroyed, a tremendous amount of Jewish life was lost, and as step 2 of that, we also mourn, of course, the great loss of Jewish life. But again, you could see that I'm building to something here. When we mourn during these 3 weeks, of course we mourn the loss of the fantastic Beis Hamikdash. Of course we mourn the great loss of life that happened with that also. But number 3, and this is a biggie here, number 3 is that we are mourning that we no longer have the presence of God in our midst. And that's bigger than you might think on the list of 3 here. When the Beis Hamikdash was standing, the Jewish people was like kind of surrounding that site, and our focus was on that site, and the Shekhinah, the full presence of God, was on that site, and we were bound to and surrounding the presence of the Shekhinah, the presence of God on earth in full view. And when that happened, the Jewish people were so focused on the way things were supposed to be, and it was so proper to have God as the central and focal point of our life. But then what happened when we lost the Beis Hamikdash? Besides that the great building was gone, and besides the great loss of life that happened, our focus on godliness also became splintered and scattered, and that is a tremendous tragedy that we are mourning until this day. If you think about what's going on in Israel right now, and you think about the disconnect that the Jewish people have with each other at times like this and before, and how we just are not getting along as we should, then you know that our focal point in our lives, which is supposed to be God, and it's supposed to be, of course, the center of everything that we do in our life, that's been splintered. And that is something that we greatly mourn, because all of the tragedies that befall us, including what's going on in Israel right now, they all happen because our focus is very splintered. We are not tightly connected with God at a focal point, which was our Beis Hamikdash, which became the center of gravity, if you might say, for all of us. That's gone now, and it's gone since the Beis Hamikdash has been gone, and we are scattered and splintered throughout the planet, with like a sheep amongst 70 wolves, with non-Jews all around us, who, great numbers of whom, let's say it like that, great numbers of whom would love to see harm come to us, and would dance in the streets when harm comes to us. This is what happens to Jewish people when they don't have God as the center of their life, and we lose the full merit of God's protection as we would hope to deserve. So when we fast tomorrow, on the day of the 17th of Tammuz, and we begin to think about the 3 weeks, think about the fact that God is supposed to be the focal point of our life. We are all supposed to surround a Beis Hamikdash and view ourselves literally as one people, literally as one, all surrounding the Beis Hamikdash, all with one purpose in mind, and that is to serve God. If we could have the Beis Hamikdash back, and if we could merit the Beis Hamikdash being rebuilt, then much of these troubles would go away, because they would herald in a time when we are as we should be, making God the focal point of our life. If God were the focal point of our life, we would not have all these rifts between us and the subsequent disasters that happen when there are rifts between us. So please think about that during these 3 weeks, because in some ways that is the thing that we mourn more greatly. Yes, we lost the temple. Yes, we lost lives. But we are scattered like sheep among 70 wolves, and we don't have our focus properly on the target, which is God, which would bring us all together as we should be. And that's what we need to think about as we try very hard to make this the last time that we commemorate the 3 weeks, and may our temple speedily be rebuilt in our days. May we merit to see that the third Beis Hamikdash will be here before Tisha B'Av this year, and that's something worthy of praying for, and something that you could hope for, and something that we should all strive for. Please remember that there will be a fast beginning early on Tuesday morning, and we'll tell you all those details in our next law. Bye-bye. Log on again tomorrow.